Hey everyone, welcome back. Just a quick lesson on multiplying fractions. One of the first things we need to review when we're multiplying fractions without using a model, as in the previous lesson when we talked about using a model to demonstrate what we know to put together fractions, is that we are going to just multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. In this case here, the example they have 3/4 multiplied by 2/5. And then they have the 3 times the 2 over a big fraction bar and 4 times 5 over a big fraction bar, which equals 6/20. And then, of course, we reduce to 3/10. It's fairly straightforward. We just multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators, and then reduce where necessary. All right, so we multiply the numerators, we multiply the denominators, and reduce if possible. However, there are certain steps that we can take to make this simpler. For example, in this case here, in the top white bar, it says if the numerators and denominators have common factors, we can divide by the common factors before we multiply the numerators. So what that means is that we have 5 multiplied by 8. We put the large fraction bar, and we look at 12 multiplied by 15. I'm going to change my pen color here to green. I'm going to circle the 5 and the 15 in this case. Now they do have a common factor. A common factor of 5 and 15 is 3. Sorry, not 3. My mistake. Is actually just 5. So what that means is I can take this top 5 here and this top circle right here, and I can divide that by 5. I'm just going to throw an equal sign over here, and I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to have 1. And then I can divide this 15 by 5, and I'm going to have 3. I'm going to keep the multiplication symbols just like that. I'm going to use a different color here to demonstrate. Let's use white here. A common factor of 12 and 8. A common factor of 12 and 8 is 4. I'm going to divide this number by 4. So this 8 divided by 4 becomes 2. And this 12 divided by 4 is going to become 3. Then I can multiply, as per the rule says, the numerators, the denominators. And I have 1 multiplied by 2 equals 2, and 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. Now you don't have to do that. If you'd prefer to just go through there and multiply 5 over 12 multiplied by 8 over 15, you're going to get an enormous number. Excuse me. 12 times 15, whatever that could be. It's just simpler to reduce or divide by common factors before multiplying. In this case, we can do the same thing. Now, the beauty of when we do this is we can do this almost immediately without redrawing this. And I'm just going to put the 4 and the 8 in a green circle right now, and we would find a common factor of 8 and 4. Well, a common factor of 8 and 4 is actually 4. So if I have 4 divided by 4, this becomes 1. 8 divided by 4, this becomes 2. If I look at the 3 and the 5, if I look at a common factor of 15, not 5, I would discover that the common factor of 3 and 15 is 3. If I divide this top 3 right here by 3, I get 1, If I divide this bottom 15, the denominator 15 across from it, I would get 5. Now my numbers have changed. I have 1/2 multiplied by 1/5, which is equal to 1/10. If I didn't reduce before multiplying, I would have 12, because that's 3 multiplied by 4. And on the bottom, I would have 8 multiplied by 15, which is equal to 120. Okay, now I could still reduce after this. This just takes a little bit longer. This is much faster. Let's do one more. I have 44 over 35 times 7 over 33. If I were to do this normally, if I would just multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators, I have 44 times 7 equals 308. And then I have 35 multiplied by 33, which is 1,155. I can reduce this, of course, and make this a little bit easier number to work with by reducing by common factors. I have 7 and 35. A common factor of 35 and 7 is 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 35 divided by 7 is 5. A common factor of 44 and 33 is 11, because 11 times 3 and 11 times 4 equals 44, and 11 times 3 is 33. So if I divide each of those by 11, this would be 3, this would be 4, and then I could rewrite my fractions as 4/5 times 1/3, which is equal to 4/15, which is a little bit easier to work with than this number right here.